Emmanuel, I don't know if you saw Pete's the comments on Pete's 203 video, but some of the people were accusing you of lying about not watching ahead. They said they said that you were trying to be smart. So do you want to face these accusations now?
I actually didn't. I was literally gonna say like, yeah, like it was just one of those things where, as I was watching the episode, I was like, oh my gosh, they're doing exactly what I thought,
Yeah.
but I kind of thought it was dumb, or you guys told me it was a dumb thing to do. I was like,
I'm never
should
gonna
I
lie
be
to you.
happy that they are doing my dumb idea?
I mean,
But
I like that the show knew it was dumb though. Like the show like dead in 2 seconds, then it's like, what did you do? Like it's very clearly that this is not I'm not even
Mhm.
sure. Like I haven't had the time to go back but when it happened, when I watched the episode, I was like, wait, did I cut out Emmanuel's theory from the episode? Like I was like, wait,
but
did we shut it down
in
so much that I cut out in
fairness,
the edit? So
right? I feel like there's only in a split second, I felt like that was the only thing he was gonna think about
yeah,
doing, right?
I guess
What
because it
I
worked.
didn't account for was how
Mhm.
terrible Thaddeus is with armor.
Yeah.
I thought he'd be
Yeah.
at least passable, like be able to walk at least through a door.
But he's never been in
And
armor though.
Yeah. It was literally
I
the
mean,
first time, right?
Yeah.
yeah, but then like I don't know, man. Maybe this is
Anyway,
Nigerian theory of like when you spend a lot of time around something, you should be, decent.
Yeah.
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 I mean, I think, yeah, no, I think I left it in the episode, but in case I didn't, and we're talking about like Emmanuel's theory that like Thaddeus was gonna be in the suit. I'm pretty sure I left it in the episode. I don't think I cut it out. But like, yes. I'm sure we'll get into all of that as we get to the episode. Let's
Yeah,
discuss.
just to clarify, I mean, the thing that people were saying was they were really saying that I was dumb because it was in the trailer that came
Oh, okay.
at the end of the episode, right? But we didn't see that. Like
We didn't see that.
none
Yeah.
of us had seen that ahead of time. So that was the misunderstanding was that they were like he just watched the trailer and then he pretended
came
like
to
he
say it on
had
the
that
podcast.
theory, you know what I mean? Because they all
Come
knew
on.
about it by the time they heard me say it, but it was for us it was like, nah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, guys, just to be clear, we record these before the episode trailers drop. But also, like, if you think we're watching ahead or whatever, listen to some of our other theories. They are so way
Yeah.
off the mark that like
we can't
Yeah,
be that good.
we're not that smart to be able to create such bad
these
theories.
2 episodes actually have me backtracking on some of the stuff that I was thinking about early in the season too.
Then
So
let's go straight in. Let's go straight in then. Hello and welcome back to the Popcorn for Dinner podcast. And welcome to the loneliest bar stroke motel this side of New Vegas. I'm Bankole Mokwede and today we're getting into episodes 4 and 5 of Fallout Season 2. And joining me once more on this new and dangerous journey, because we're seeing some new and dangerous animals. Guys, I thought they were my friends. It's Emmanuel and Pete. How are you guys doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Yeah, I can't believe we're this far into the show already.
Halfway,
yeah,
right?
so is it halfway? How many episodes is it this season?
8 episodes.
It's 8. Okay, so
yeah.
Oh, because we got 6, I was thinking like, is it 7 or something?
Don't let the audience know how that Prime doesn't trust us. We all 8 at once. Like,
I'm doing pretty good. I've been on a 2-day steady drip of buff out, snacking
so
on
are you
some
scratching
dry
yourself?
Blamco mac and cheese. So yeah, I did quite enjoy these episodes though. I thought that it really is getting into a situation where it feels like things are coming together. Momentum is building towards the end. So it's not just the drugs talking. It's not just the drugs. Yeah.
It's not one addiction at a time. I really like these 2 episodes. I think I think 4 is really funny. Like I mean, obviously all the Lucy and
I think
Eddie
4 is the
stuff was
best
just
episode of the
hilarious.
season
That's fair.
so
That's
far.
very fair.
Yeah.
4 or 5. I'm not sure. I think 4 is really funny, but then 5, like I think, which we'll talk about. I think the 2 big scenes in 5 really did hit for me. Like they were very, very well done for me. But yeah, we're gonna talk about all of that in a second. Just quickly, admin industry. Knights of the Seven Kingdoms. We're covering those 2 HBO shows. You can check them on the feed wherever you're listening. Already up now. We're gonna cover that all through the season. Please like, subscribe, or follow wherever you're listening. Yeah, we started our MCU 12 last week. Started with number 12 with this, which was Thunderbolts, MCU's Thunderbolts. So check that out. Okay, so Fallout 204 is titled The Demon in the Snow. It's written by Chaz Hawkins. 205 is titled The Wrangler. It's written by Jane Espenson, and both are directed by Liz Friedlander. There's a lot to go through, but I think there's only one place to start, and I'm going to ask you this very directly, Pete. What the fuck was that creature in Alaska? Like, what are we doing? The world has monsters pre-radiation? Like, I had in my notes, Godzilla? Dinosaurs? I was like very confused as to what's going on.
Yeah, it's funny because it is a death claw, which he explains later. That's the actual name that they have. For me, this was like a funny creature because, whenever you play the game, there are a lot of these like radiation animals out there that are big and everything else, like we were sort of talking about before. The death claw it just kind of fits in, but then you realize, it's not really like
not
an
radiation.
abomination. Yeah, it's not like really a mutation, really. It's something that's genetically engineered. So depending, I guess, where you jump into the games, into the timeline, or, at some point you realize that this is something that someone created. But,
Pre the war? Pre the bombs?
Yes.
Okay.
The lore, just really generally speaking, like this isn't spoilery really. The idea is that the US government created them as like what we see here. Like this is that's what they're showing us here, that it was a weapon. And perhaps something of that line. And the thing, I guess, in this scene that really jumps out is that nobody there knows what's going on. And then when you hear House talk about it later, he doesn't know what's going on, and he's supposed to be the person that knows everything. So it's obviously important.
I was so stunned. Like, it caught me so off guard. Because obviously all the animals and radiation animals we've seen post the bombs, I was like, okay, it's radiation that has chained them to death. I was like, wait, this is pre-radiation. What like, I thought everything was quote unquote normal. So it really, I was very confused. I was like, oh, okay, this is
I thought that was
normal.
I thought that was a pretty nice touch, the way they did that, because like I said, if you just jump into some of the games, you just think, oh, well, this is just another animal or creature that is the way it is because of the wasteland. But like when he goes into the bar, the guy says, what does he say? Rock Quarry, I think it's called. He says that they came down, the bartender, and that's a place, like when you go there, like you get so thrashed by these things. Like they're terrible to fight at first before you have really good gear. So
I mean, the Ghoul was
everyone that's
scared.
that's played has had a frightening encounter with them at some point or another.
Yeah, like you could, a lot of like real emotional acting from Walton Goggins through the whole Ghoul makeup in these 2 episodes, because like it followed, he was afraid. Like that was like, I've never seen the Ghoul that scared. Like he was really kind of going through it. Okay, so speaking of the Ghoul, I think let's start with the betrayal. I think I have betrayal in quotes in my notes, because we always kind of knew that this heel turn was coming. We've kind of like theorized about it. And I mean, heel turn is funny saying it because he started off as a heel already.
Yeah.
What do we think about this? Because like, I'm not really, like, in my head, I was like, it's a betrayal, but is it? Because it's kind of a straightforward decision for him. It's not really that kind of difficult.
Yeah, but like, I like how the show kind of places it. because I think the show kind of minimizes the event a little bit. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it didn't feel like, oh, this massive thing. How could you do this? How could you do that? I felt like, if this was, I guess, probably when in the season it's happening. Like, if this happened in like the finale or something, it's like, oh, okay. Like, we kind of expected it, right? So why? But I like it happening here because now the drama is not in him betraying her. The drama is in what happens after. Does this trigger something in his thought process of like, was that really worth it? Because let's be clear, like Hank is not gonna keep to any sort of stupid deal anyway. So,
but Hank has no reason to like kill his wife, Barbara.
I mean, he might not kill them, but like, I don't think Hank is gonna be very straightforward. Like, here's your family, right?
Yeah.
Well, so I guess what I'm trying to say is just that, like, I think the drama is gonna be in what happens after, and I like how it's framed rather than the drama being is he gonna betray her or not, because that's something that I thought was a given. One other thing I wanted to say, just to come back to the opening with the creature.
Yeah.
That sequence confused me quite a bit because I was like, okay, this is again a non-radiation animal kind of thing. But before that, right, he sent the other guy to leave. How far did that guy leave that he didn't even realize that Coop was fighting for his life?
So in my head canon, it's that his T-44 armor is so bad, like he couldn't come back. Like he was, like he's trying to come back, quote unquote, like because like he can't move. Like it's
so he can only move one direction.
Oh no, like he can't run for definitely. So maybe he was, I don't know.
It just felt like
it's plot armor, quite literally.
Yeah,
plot armor.
Yeah. This is what I was saying. It just kind of took me out a little bit because I was like, he's gonna come back, right? Or he's gonna call someone for help or something.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh my gosh, he's not coming back. I need to focus on what's actually happening. Because sometimes that happens to me while I'm watching shows where I'm like, I'm waiting for the cavalry or whatever, so I kind of get removed. I'm like, oh, it's not happening. Damn.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't think about that. I thought that, obviously that was the story that he was telling at the podium whenever he, when he was talking about dragging him back. So I just assumed, but you're right. It does play out pretty quickly. And it was for him, Charlie had his arm was not working. It was, it was Coop's leg. So he could have actually just ran. I mean, those things, you run super fast in them too. You know what I mean? They're like exoskeleton kind of situation.
Enhancements and stuff. Yeah.
But as far as the betrayal, I think there, it was nice that, but you understood both sides. Like, no, there really isn't, like, even Lucy will understand that eventually. Like, there's no scenario where he's been chasing after his family for 200 years. You know what I mean? Like, he's not, they have a nice little relationship starting to develop, but he's not going to give up a chance to get his family back. And he probably doesn't trust Hank. But I also like that we have a lot. There's other stuff that happened in the past related to Hank that we don't know about yet too. Because before when we saw him, before when we saw him thinking about Hank, we were thinking about this loser assistant who was asking for his autograph. Now we know that Hank was involved with the stuff that was going on in Las Vegas at that time, so he has a totally different take on Hank than what I at least initially thought about how he thinks about the guy.
I was rewatching that scene, the Lucy Ghoul scene, just before we started recording, and Ella Purnell is really good in that scene. Like there's a shot where the camera stays on her and her face transitions like from the confusion of what the salesman is telling her to realizing that the ghoul is actually about to do this, and like the sadness of that realization all in like one shot. And it's like really good from Ella. It's just really good acting, like facial acting, because the camera is just like on a mid to close up shot. And and then like I said earlier, like Walton Goggins is really acted through that, all that ghoul makeup in like you can see his eyes, and I can see that. Okay, let's do this. I don't necessarily agree with this, but let's for the sake of conversation, let's do some concern trolling. Do we believe this like connection with the Ghoul and Lucy? Like, do we think it's too soon? Do we believe that he grew to like her this much, like to affect him this way?
I mean, too much is a stretch, right? Like, I don't know. Is there something that he's done where you're like, oh, he really, really cares for her?
I mean,
I'm not.
this betrayal seemed to really, really affect him. Like, he seemed really kind of touched about it.
Yeah, I think maybe it's more from the point of like, like he hasn't really had a connection with anyone for God knows how long, right? Everyone, we talked about this earlier on of like one of the reasons he might like being around Lucy is that, people look down on ghouls and stuff like that. Like, if you see his conversations with like dog meat, it kind of feels like, this is someone that's just not had people around in general. So I think having her around, just that presence alone, obviously brings with it a little bit of like, what's the word now? Like a little bit of like feelings with it, right? So from that aspect, so I think just from that point of view, he's almost in a selfish way thinking like he's gonna lose that connection. Not even so much as what does he really care for Lucy, that kind of thing. I think it might be almost more from a selfish kind of view of like, okay, I'm gonna lose this, but my family is the same thing. And I think, to be fair, there's certain things Lucy has said to him that although he's kind of probably brushed it off in the exterior, like what she said about, what's your family going to think of you? I think those things are always going to be playing in his mind, especially now where like, meeting them seems to be a possibility and stuff. So there's certain things where she might have left an impact, but it's not so much like caring for her, so to speak, at this point anyway, the way I read it.
Yeah, I think you nailed it at the end there. I think it's not really her so much as it's what she brings out in him, like this time that they spent together, because I think that was a big turning point. What he did with the Legion was because like he doesn't, like, he has some connection to NCR, but he doesn't care about those two people that have been, just out there at that outpost waiting for reinforcements that aren't coming. The guy we met at the beginning of the series, I think he just would have just straight up gave them up, you know what I mean? And then just said, hey, that's just the way that it goes, Here he decided to try to use that, and then he set off the dynamite or whatever. And I think that, we see those flashbacks, they're cut there for us, but that he's also rethinking about his past and who he used to be and who he wants to be. And I think it's partially just being cut off from everyone. Like, you do see that. I think the stuff he says to dog meat is important, but I also think he's just Lucy's presence there and her, her crazy worldview is having an effect on him, and he realizes that.
Let's talk about Lucy's worldview, because she kills a man in this episode.
Yeah. A creepy man, but
yes, a man that very most likely killed another man and tried to steal from the shop.
That was a ridiculous framing, by the way. Like, the fact he wore the outfit.
The outfit is very, very, very not his size.
Not exactly fitting.
It's just like, how? Like, why even bother?
I mean, I guess it is.
So, do you guys think that he says lots of people come in naked to try to rob a place? Was the implication that he showed up naked to try to kill the place?
I think he definitely showed up naked. That's why I was trying to defend it.
That is pretty funny.
Hey, it's not that weird. Lots of people do it.
Yeah.
Lots of people are saying that it. Yeah, and there's the kind of like the on the nose dialogue where like the woman asks her, "Who are you?" and Lucy's like, "I don't know, whatever." But yeah, I thought it was quite interesting. I mean, we're not meant to believe that she killed that woman too, though, right? Like, she can't get out of there without having to kill the woman. Like,
no, I didn't have that impression.
Yeah, me neither. Okay, but yeah, she kills probably the first person she's killed, right? I assume, and like,
Well, I mean, she killed the kings, but they were just ghouls,
they were
according
goals.
to
Ooh,
her.
is that anti-ghoul rhetoric from
That's
me?
pretty. Yeah, that's pretty
I didn't
racist
consider
or
that. Yeah, I didn't consider
speciesist
that
or
Dang.
whatever
people.
the word would be.
Oh
You turning
wow!
into Quintus?
Yeah, I need to go and look in Quintus. We'll talk about Quintus. The way I need to go and look inwards. Oh wow! I'm sorry, ghouls. I'll post a black square for you. No, yeah. So and I think it's interesting that obviously this happens the moment like the ghoul again, quote unquote, betrays her. So it's like
Yeah.
we discussed last episode 2 weeks ago about how she will probably start going closer to the ghoul's worldview, or hopefully not like to the ghoul's worldview, but closer. And I think that's kind of like, I think this murder will probably kind of be a bit a stepping stone, I think. And now with this betrayal, and now she's in front of Hank, I don't think we're gonna have like okie dokie Lucy for a bit, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
What do you got? How do you feel about the drug transition? Because that was the sort of the thing that I was thinking about was like I didn't want to see her get too corrupted. I thought this was a pretty good way to get her to have a pretty big shift in character
Mm-hmm.
to where she is just shooting people and getting off on it, kind of like, but it's not real in a sense, you know what I mean? Because it's drug fueled, like this
Yeah.
whole Kings thing.
Yeah, I think it was something that I was thinking about because I was like, okay, what are we trying to say here? Because obviously the ghoul is on a ton of drugs, right?
Mm,
Yeah.
I was
all the
like,
time.
are we gonna get to a point where it's like, oh, it's not really him, it's the drugs?
No,
I was like,
no.
surely not.
I don't think
So-
so. I think
so I
after
was like-
200 years, you pretty much can handle you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
you can't really
Yeah.
blame
No,
it on the drugs anymore at that point.
Yeah, I guess I was just trying to see, like, I guess I was wondering, like, is this maybe how he started off or whatever? But I think at first as well, it took me by surprise because she was like, you know, when he said, oh, it's a drug addiction, like, I didn't expect it to be like, okay, so all of a sudden she's that good a shot and like that aggressive in killing and stuff. I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. But
Well,
I think in terms of
she did do shooting inside the vault.
Yeah,
That
I
was
was trying to say
that-
the show always tries to remind us that Lucy's quite capable. Actually, like she's a very good shot. She's good at these.
when she's
things.
holding herself back, right?
Yeah, like it's well, like, obviously she didn't use actual guns, but like I always forget it, and then the show reminds me. Oh, actually, no, Lucy is like she's good.
Capable.
She knows how.
Fair.
Yeah, like her just talking is just like trying to not start shooting. Like she
Default to it.
knows. Yeah, she's good with a gun. Yeah.
But like, yeah, like with the drugs, I was just trying to think of like what the end goal would be. But I think here is possibly, like Pete was saying, it's kind of like an interesting way to almost get her to walk a mile in the ghoul's shoes without
Mhm.
really compromising the character entirely.
yeah.
So I guess it's, yeah, maybe it's then poetic that in the same sort of episode is when the betrayal happens because it's probably a point where she's feeling closer to him effectively
Mhm.
because you know he's looked after her. You know, yes, she got pumped up with drugs or whatever, but even that he told her how to kind of take care of it and stuff like that. So I think it's almost a fundamentally positive moment right before the rug is kind of swept out from under the relationship kind of thing.
Yeah, and we should state that like she steals the hangover
Power
cure,
fist.
whatever. Like
Oh.
and she steals the glove as well.
Addictol.
So like, yes, it's not. She's not like she's not Lucy. Lucy of 3 episodes ago would have like gone to like because she even almost goes to gamble, I think, to get more caps to like Lucy of before would have gone to beg or something. So like, but to your point about the drugs, I do think it was quite literally a gateway drug. Like she does the drugs, she starts shooting, and to her, quote unquote, they're just ghouls. I won't be caught in that trap again. But following that, like, see how, like, obviously she says, "Don't bring out your gun," but see how quick she is to shoot that guy. Like, like before she might have used a different, like, I don't know if she still has her stun guns, but like she might have shot him in the leg, right? Where to be hard of like, but she shoots him like
But
in a
at
place
that time
where,
she was still in drugs, right?
yeah,
She's
but
in withdrawal. I
yeah,
think.
she's in withdrawal. But like the drugs are not making her like shoot. She's just like enjoying like her decision to shoot that guy is very clear headed. but because she's
Do
trying
you
to quote
think-
unquote maim him.
Yeah, because she said maim, but do you think that she was trying to maim him and she
It was
just
a
killed
mistake,
him,
yeah.
or do you think that?
I think her enjoyment of like killing the kings makes her. I don't think she was trying to kill him for sure, but I think she was like, I don't know, it made her more freewheeling. I think Lucy of the season premiere would have shot him in the knee or the leg, but she's like on her, she's high, literally. So she's just like,
Mhm.
but not blaming the drug. Like she's testing how far she can push the limits. She's trying to go very close to the line, right? And at this point, she goes over the line. That's what I think. So I think it's like, because I mean by the gateway drug, like it starts with her shooting the kings. Then she's just like, you know what? I don't have to shoot him at the knee. I can make the pain. Actually, I can make the pain worse for him by shooting him in the shoulder. But then she ends up killing him. So I think that's
And I
kind
think that I think that's sort of a thing that happens to people in the wasteland, right? It sort of wears things away. Like just having to survive all the time turns you into something else.
of. Yeah,
No matter
for
who,
sure.
no matter who you are, like, you know, if it's kill or be killed, you're going to kill, and you're going to run into those kind of situations.
So, but yes, I'm intrigued to kind of see her being with Hank now is not good for anybody's mental health. So I'm intrigued to kind of see like what we kind of see with Lucy. I think we all agree that even if they do for the next episode or two, I think eventually we're not going to get Lucy that is like the Ghoul. She's going to have a bit of her kind of morality. But I think for now, they might push her a bit and see how far the show is willing to push her before bringing her back.
You mentioned Hank. Sorry, this is totally different. I was going to say we owe him an apology. His ridiculous experiments actually worked without him changing anything.
He pulled it off this time.
He did pull it off, but we don't know what he was doing in the meantime. He wasn't there throughout 204, so he might have been changing things.
Nah,
I'm kind of with you. I think it's more that the show didn't do a great. I think the show leaned into the heads exploding for the fun kind of gore of it,
the humor,
and it didn't really do a great job to show that he was actually doing anything
tweaking stuff
constructive. But I guess he was, because they did the fake out pull away this time just to bait you into thinking, oh, here goes another head, and not this time.
Because what I got from it was that because he kept trying to, he kept blaming the test subjects, right? The mice were too small, then he got the guy. So I guess, that salesman is a ghoul, isn't it? So it's like he's got into...
Is he a ghoul?
No, Snake Oil Salesman's a human. He's not a ghoul.
Oh, he's human?
It's just
I thought it was like part ghoul. Wow.
He's just a weird...
Wow.
He's just a weird looking guy.
First ghouls and people, now he's really ugly. Wow.
I just called him an ugly person. You called him a ghoul. I think I'm the better person.
He wears a bit of makeup, or I don't know if it's supposed to be like road dust or whatever, but I could see making that, like, there's something different about him than other humans, like visibly.
Or like radiation or something, right? Yeah. All right, cool. Well, he found someone strong enough to handle his 100% pain.
But also someone pliant. Like, he wanted it.
That was so funny.
Yeah. Like, he wanted his brain cleared. So I wonder if
it's like, yes, please. Just get rid of it. Everyone you ever knew. Yep. Everything you've ever done. Every decision. Yep.
Every robot or animal you've ever slept with. Yeah.
That was actually a pretty fun lore thing there too. The robot that he went to see, that is that's a Fisto Protectron. Is the name is obviously there's more to it, but if you the acronym you can make is Fisto, and you can imagine what a Fisto does.
Yeah, we could imagine what he's been doing.
No judgment.
It's one of these weird side quests that you go on, and you literally have to acquire one of these robots for somebody else and bring it to them. And while you do it, it sort of says, okay, you get it, and it's like, all right, I'm ready to do my thing or whatever, and you're like, and then it keeps giving you the dialogue, so it's like, oh, I guess I should test it out before I to make sure it works or something like that.
Speaking of side quests, obviously we talked about the side quests in this show last episode, and I even titled the episode about side quests. But I loved how in 204 Lucy was like, "No, I'm not doing the side quest with you anymore. We're going straight through. We're going to kill this king. I'm not going to Freetown or wherever you're calling it. Like it's no more side quests. I'm done." I like that from the show. Okay, should we go back to
Yeah.
1950s or 20? What's it? 25th, 24th? What year is it again? Like
it's
in the
not the
past?
1950s. It just looks like it. It's
Yeah, I know
2070.
it's Afro.
It's like 2077 is when the
Retrofuture.
war happened.
2077. Okay, so let's talk about Mr. House. We finally get the reveal 5 episodes in. I was like, oh, finally, Jesus Christ. I guess to their credit, the show, speaking of what Emmanuel said about the whole Lucy Ghoul scene, the show didn't make a big deal out of this reveal. I guess
Yeah.
they would hope that even people that are not podcasting like us or following news online, like they'll hope that like you'd have put it together by now, like that this is kind of Mr. House. I mean, yeah, I was disappointed that it wasn't a robot, but hey, that's a different HBO show.
Nah.
I was just holding out hope. Maybe Jonathan Nolan didn't want to like reheat his old nachos, but like yeah, I was holding out hope. But yeah, what do you
maybe
guys
it's
think
all
about-
that. Maybe it's all the ramen in the score, because there's definitely some Westworld overtones.
Yeah, I mean, ramming in the score, Jonathan Nolan. So I was kind of like, are we going down the? But it didn't happen. So maybe that's good. Maybe that's a good thing considering the trajectory Westworld ended up on. Yeah. So what do we think about? I guess the review. But I want to talk about really that scene, like with Mr. House and Coop. I don't know if I fully deciphered Coop in that scene, especially at the end. Like I don't really know what pushes him off the edge, like that. But yeah, who wants to start it?
Well, I would say that I actually really enjoyed it. This is what I was hoping was going on, just because I liked the Howard Hughes connection, that Howard Hughes used body doubles at different times.
Did he?
Yeah. Well,
but
he ended up being like not able to show himself in public because
I know he was like
reckless.
but like
but he did that before.
Doubles.
He did that before that as well. There's a famous guy that, not famous, but people, like there was an identified person who was one of his body doubles. You can read about it if you like go look at his Wikipedia
but
page.
But is it body doubles in the sense of like the public? Because the public knew how Howard Hughes looked like. That's what I'm trying to like.
Yeah, but he just got someone that looked like him. I don't know if he ever did interviews and did the whole thing like how this
like I know he was a famous recluse. There's the whole thing about like peeing in jars and everything, and like the Aviator covers that. I don't know. Maybe did he use body doubles in the Aviator? It's been a while since I watched the movie. Anyway, sorry. Yes, go back. Sorry.
Yeah, but I like the way that they handled it. I like the way that they just sort of they didn't make a big thing about it. I like that he said Mr. House would like to see you, and so all right, I know what's happening here. And I don't know. I just love Justin Theroux, like the whole thing, like this is where it felt like, okay, things are finally coming together. Like this season's really picking up some momentum now. I want to know what's going to happen.
I agree with you. I think for me, while 4 was like very funny and I enjoyed it a lot, 5 was the episode where I was like, okay, this is it. Because like it was this scene and then the scene with Lucy and Ghoul where I was like, okay, this is, and also actually the scene with Norm, which hopefully we'll get to in a second. But I was like, oh, okay, this is it. This is like the show. Everything is kind of like running now. So I was like, okay, yeah. So I do agree with you. And also the fact that that Justin Theroux and Walton Goggins are old friends. So like it's like nice to you can kind of almost see them having a little bit too much fun.
Yeah, it's borderline, but I think it works because I think they are like when he puts the helmet on and he's standing there.
I
was like, man, you could kind of tell that these guys they know each other. Like they feel confident.
Is the helmet from the game?
It should be like
from
that.
the game, Pete?
What's that?
Is the helmet?
The helmet, yeah. I don't know the exact. I've seen that before, but I might have seen it not in its original context, like because the newer games, they recycle stuff from the older games.
Yeah.
So It's definitely something that I recognize, but I couldn't tell you the the lore where that was
Cooper,
first.
like, what am I doing, man? You might just be a psychopath. Like,
Yeah. But
something really funny, just quickly, is like when he's leaving the lift, the robot is there, and then he's like,
that's
"Wait,
Victor.
is
Yeah.
this Mr. House?"
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he's a bit like, "Is this who you're talking about as Mr. House?" And then he's like, "Mr. House is nice to see you." But yeah, so Pete, anything else on this scene to touch on, and then
Well, I mean, it's pretty. It also kind of changed my trajectory about what was happening because you remember back in episode 1, we had this question of who is Hank talking
the
to,
shitty guy as well. Yeah.
and so it seemed like he's talking to Mr. House, and we see him come along for the ride, so that all seems to be lining up with that. But then there's there's a bug in here somehow. But he's along for the ride, and then all of a sudden it's like I don't know, it just started to seem like, well, maybe there's another layer here, right? Because there's this thing that House doesn't know about, the death clause, and then there's this idea about Barb, and like I kind of think he suspects Barb, but I kind of don't. I think Barb is probably caught up in something, maybe, and that Hank is probably the agent, right?
I mean,
That's
there's
what
still
it feels
guy-
like at the end. So I feel like there's something else going on with Hank, even though he seems super unassuming and he's there in the background, kind of like as a lowly assistant. I think that there's more to his story for why he's there. And I think that makes sense, makes the stuff that happens with him blowing up Shady Sands and everything else make a little more sense, because the story as told is he's a company man who is so invested in Vault Tech's future plans that he's just pissed that his wife left. I mean, he blew up his wife, you know what I mean? Like that was a choice he made. So it wasn't, it never really seemed right to me that he would go to that extreme just because of what she did, or just because as a low-level assistant, he was that invested in the Vault Tech vision or whatever.
This episode definitely made me feel a lot more fear for Hank. Even in the past, I don't know if fear is the right word, but I definitely felt like he was a lot more nefarious than we had given him credit for in the past, in the flashback. I do think, like, there's a whole thing where Mr. House is like, "Who presses the bomb? Is it you, Is it you, Cooper?" And I was like, wait, is it Hank? I still don't know if he has that much power, but I was like, I definitely do think it's a lot more involved in the eventual happenings than we kind of thought going in.
Yeah, I think the implication is it's the people that Hank works for. The people who are behind the death claw. Because
we still don't know who the shadowy figure in the like Dr. Strangelove kind of scene was.
That's where my thinking has changed. Like I thought that was a high level Vault Tech executive. I don't really think that anymore.
Yeah. Emmanuel?
So no, I was just thinking, like, just listening to what Pete was saying there, and like thinking of like Hank and like trying to trace stuff back. It might sound like a little weird thing, but if you remember at the opening of episode 4, we hear the soldier say "okie dokie," right? And obviously Lucy gets that phrase from her dad. I almost wonder if there's trying to like show us a line there, right? Of like,
I was going to ask you guys what you thought about that.
Is that
that's
a throwaway
actually
Easter egg, or is there something
that actually
there?
makes
Because
a little
that's
bit of
also
sense.
The death claw as well.
Yeah.
That actually makes a little bit of sense.
Death claw and everything.
Now that House said that he saw that through Cooper's T-45.
Yeah.
Because I even asked my wife right before we came on today. I was like, why does the Chinese soldier say okie dokie? Like, what's the connection there? Like, that would be, if that doesn't have some explanation, it'd be kind of like annoying, right? Because it's like,
yeah, 100%.
Like, what is the connection to just have her say Lucy's catchphrase in Alaska pre-war, during the war?
And it's delivered in such a way where it's like, we need you to catch this. It wasn't like a comedic thing or whatever. It was like, this is something to catch.
Emmanuel, I hope your theory is correct, because I would say that it did kind of annoy me in the moment because I was like, come on, like, what are the odds
No.
that this is supposed to say? So I really do hope that your theory about the connection to Hank and then Lucy is correct, because it will make that whole scene go down better for me.
So then the theory is that this proves that Hank was connected to House, but then to me it just doesn't make sense that there's not more to the story, because like I said, unless Barb really is a shadowy player and she's under some pressure to do the things that House is kind of suspecting, I feel like Hank has to be the missing piece, because he is we already know what he's capable of.
Or maybe he's not connected to House, because we know that all he's doing right now is transporting the cold fusion, like to Vegas. Maybe he's working for someone else, and it's that same person that he's talking to in quote unquote the present. Maybe he's not like working for House.
For another random thing that kind of stood out, I don't mean to derail, but the Congresswoman.
Yeah.
Do you think there's something weird going on with her?
I mean, I didn't think she was going to come back, so that definitely has like a bigger role, I'm sure. Yeah.
But I mean, do you have any ideas? Because like the thing is that the time they introduced her, I was like, why did they even include this detail that she's anti-corporate? You know, like, because otherwise she's a forgettable character. You know, she's just inept and kind of bumbling. And then when she showed up again, I was like, wait a minute, she was in California the last time we saw her. Now she's traveled to Las Vegas. Like, that there has to be something going on there, right?
Maybe Coop tries to use her as like a whistleblower, we would see. Like he tries to go like the political route to stop things. I mean, we could find out. But yeah, when she came, when she was on the previously on, I was like, oh, okay. So I guess this character's coming back. I was like,
yeah,
sometimes usually a dead giveaway.
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. I guess this is something I should have been paying more attention to. I just thought it was like a funny comedic bit. But yeah, I think maybe they might use her as like a whistleblower. Mr. House doesn't know a lot of things, and he admits to those things in this scene. Like he doesn't know what Coop's eventual role is going to be. He doesn't know who sets up the bombs. He doesn't as in for a man who knows everything, he's quite, and like I think he's meant to be the villain is our understanding, but like it does seem like
I think he's an anti-hero.
For now, yeah, I don't like okay, maybe this is me being too trusting, but like I believe everything he said in that scene. Like I do think like he doesn't know all these things. I do think he isn't planning on setting up the bomb right now. Like I do think he's trying to figure out who does it and everything. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's hard for me to weigh in without, like, I mean, I know more about Mr. House from playing the games than you guys do. So I'm curious to see how you land on it. Like I do think that's a fair read, that he's being honest there, because he doesn't really have a good reason to lie to Coop.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to get information from Coop. So the best way to do that is to give him information, right? And if you don't know something, that's information. Like I don't know this. So that, you know what I'm saying? So like he doesn't lose anything by telling him that.
Yeah, that's true actually. Like just telling him what you don't know is kind of a way to get him to trust you, but you're not kind of showing your cards or anything like that. I don't know. Yeah, I do tend to, you know, say like we can trust him. But again, this is a character that has had someone pretending to be him for God knows how long. By the way, I loved, what's the actor's name? Rafa Silva? The way he kind of drops the act and just gets the cigarette out and everything. It's just like, yeah, I'm off the clock.
It's a living.
It's a living. It's like clock in, clock out.
It actually would be a cool job.
It's a great job. It's such a good job. Oh my God.
Yeah, but like, also, I wonder has that always been the case? Or did at one point Robert House be like, right, I can't be in public anymore, and then this switch needs to happen kind of thing?
He said he's been doing it for 10 years whenever Coop asked him.
So probably the moment he started making money, like serious money, he was like, okay, I need to I can't be, like maybe for a while he's doing like no video interviews, just like print interviews. Then when he starts getting real money, he's like, okay, I need to get a replacement ASAP. Like, I think it's not something that you know from the jump, not something that you stumble across. Like, this is this is who I am. I can't be like, you have reason to. Anyway. Yes, I do think that was the case. But yeah, I think they
I
did a great
guess
job.
I'm just thinking, like, in modern kind of time, there must be some conspiracy theorist somewhere. Like, it's not the same Mr. House. Something's happened, and some guy like crazy videos and stuff.
Yeah, it's like,
But
look, yeah. Anyway, but yeah,
but yeah, I was just
mhm.
gonna say that, like, yeah, I'm inclined to think we can trust him. I just, yeah, I think weirdly that scene has kind of made me more interested in what's really going on. Like, it feels like there's more players than we thought there was. Remember in episode 1, we were just talking about, we thought it was just all about the guy with the silhouette in the screen and stuff, but now it kind of feels like Hank had a bigger role. There's this congresswoman involved, there's Mr. House and fake Mr. House. It just feels like there's just a lot more kind of intrigue in there.
Yeah.
I'm still 50-50 on the whole Moldova part of things as well. Like,
Moldova seems
I really
more
want to see how that plays
sinister
out and
in
how
this
she gets
season,
to.
doesn't she?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking about. I'm just like, how I'm trying to, because I keep
Like,
trying
she just
to
comes out and says the ends
put it
justify
together.
the means here. Like, you don't
Yeah.
make your character say that if you want people to like them,
Can I
Exactly.
just say, on one hand, like, having Moldova say exactly what I said last episode of, like, you're a soldier, and then she goes the end, I was like, oh Jesus, I was on the wrong side of this. But then also on the other hand, Emmanuel, you were correct, because like, she was wrong. Like, House is not the person.
Yeah.
Like, he would have killed the wrong person for no reason. So
Just killed the
very
poor guy with the
clearly I
cigarette,
was wrong and you were correct. Yes.
Well, I think some
But,
of that extra like some of the like extra complication that you're feeling, I think a little bit of that is to keep people who are really familiar with the lore on their toes. Some, you know what I mean? Because like this, like what I liked about the first season was they put a spin on things that made sense, right? Like they said it's not just about our tendency as humans to fight and go to war over resources. People actually are in positions of power, like it was presented as Vault Tech and these people at this table, right? That are making these decisions that make these things happen too. Like, people are responsible for actual wars that happen. It's not just, oh, well, we were going to do it anyway, so what's the difference, right? And so what I thought about, I thought, well, that just makes sense for the time. Like, that's just a thing that doesn't really need a twist. It works. We understand that. People who played the games, who didn't play the games, it's a part of it, so it's just okay. But a lot of times in the games, there is some other force that, because you're going around and you're discovering stuff like how Norm does, you're looking at computers, you're reading files, you're doing different things, and that's the way, that's why the games are interesting, because it always goes a little bit deeper. So yeah, after this, like, I feel like I'm pretty sure what they're going for,
okay.
putting all that stuff together. But you can't really be certain, because other things still make sense. Like I said, the original idea that someone at Vault Tech wanted to make this happen, that makes sense. That Barb did something dramatic because she was trying to protect her family. I mean, we've kind of seen that would make sense too. So yeah, I think that maybe a little bit of the complexity is because if they did it too straight, then the people who have been really kind of into the lore for a long time would be able to suss it out right away, which I don't think. Some people have made the right theories, have had those theories for a while, but nobody could be sure. So now it feels like it's coming together for TV viewers and people who have some background at the same time, which is a satisfying way to do it.
Yeah. Emmanuel, do you have any thoughts on this section that you want to touch on? I think I cut you off earlier. Okay.
No, that's cool.
Should we go to Maximus and the Brotherhood as we kind of barrel towards the end? Pete, before you watched 4 and after you watched 3, we're talking about those comments on the YouTube video. And you mentioned how Maximus going back to the Brotherhood and trying to act to this whole Thaddeus thing would, I had watched 4 at this point, but I didn't say anything, like, would kind of lead to him leaving the Brotherhood, right? Which is something that I had not considered before I watched the episode. Like, I didn't even think like he would get back to it. I thought that their journey back to the Brotherhood would be what would lead him towards Lucy and the Ghouls. I never thought they would get back to the Brotherhood this season. But yeah, but they do get back to the Brotherhood. Some comic and tragic things happen, and then eventually ends with him, I would assume, kind of leaving the Brotherhood for good. Like, why did you think about that? Or how do you think that was going to be the case? And then following that, were you satisfied with the outcome?
Well, because I guess that's another kind of game thing, like where I didn't expect him to change the Brotherhood from the inside. Like, I didn't think that was going to be the path for that character. So yeah, I just thought that we're getting this picture of them where they're, that he has this, he's on this journey of where you're expecting him to just sort of transcend what they're all about. So this, killing Xander kind of made it a situation where he couldn't just go straight back and put his head down and just say, well, it's better than the alternative. And so and I wanted to see that because I think it's going to be a better show if we get all the people back together again. And, because it's like, I don't know if you watched my episode 3 video, but the thing that I kept coming back to was the idea of the way that the wasteland changes people. And, because of what the Ghoul was saying about, a boat's a boat and a boat's not a boat. And the sort of like how you rearrange a person and are they still the same? So like with Maximus and these guys and all this investment in the lore from players who have been into this for a long time, I just think it's a smart move by the show to get some distance from those things that people have like really strong feelings about, and then have these characters forge something different so that it can just be their own thing. It can just be the show's thing. And like, maybe that will end up being like bringing back the NCR or some version of something like that or whatever. But like, if he's inside the Brotherhood of Steel, then it's a Brotherhood of Steel story. If she would just go back and be in the vault and try to do something like that, it would be a vault story, and it's not. It's a wasteland story. So that's really kind of why I thought that they would. I just think it's a smarter choice by the showrunners to create their own standalone thing where they don't have to like constantly worry about if they're contradicting some canon or some lore about one of these factions that people care so much about.
Yeah, and also on that note, I remember start of the season, lots of the comments you were getting on your videos were about how, I think that was in episode 2, about, and maybe 3, about how bad the Brotherhood was being depicted. And like how the characters were just kind of basic ravagers or whatever. And I think, like, even back then, I thought that was the point. Like, it's like, they're not going to really spend too much time kind of like fleshing out these random Brotherhood sections just because like the main story was about Maximus, right? And I think now it makes more sense when you know that like the Brotherhood is effectively, at least for now, like the Brotherhood storyline is over. So like those guys just serve the purpose of like being random aggressive meatheads that can cause like a war within this particular Brotherhood ship and everything. So I think the story was never about them, which is probably why they were fleshed out so poorly or so two-dimensionally.
Yosemite was pretty cool though. The whole stab you in the face thing was pretty.
That was, I mean, the other guy said it's like, oh, that was cool.
I was just gonna say, like I think the Brotherhood storyline is probably, or Maximus's storyline is probably what I might be enjoying the most out of the separate storylines we've had this season.
Wait, sorry,
There is
pause you there. Pause you there. Pete,
Sorry.
what's yours?
Because
mine is Coop. Yeah, mine is Coop.
Yeah.
And
What, the flashback?
I think the flashbacks are carrying it for me, but I think the Maxmus stuff, I think where we're at right now with the Maxmus stuff is starting to look pretty promising. Like I think it's pretty good too. I could see
where we are
see that.
out right now for most of the storylines, I am very happy with. Like 90% of the storylines. But yeah, sorry, Emmanuel, I cut you off. Just wanted to get that.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Table.
I mean, yeah, the flashback is probably the most compelling thing. I was thinking more about the present day stuff, but like, there is a part of me thinking, how are these gonna converge this season? And also, this, I don't know. I don't even know if this show's been renewed for season 3, but I hope if they converge, like it's gonna be. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I hope we don't get into this trope of like we converge at the end of a season and then the season starts and everyone's in separate ways again.
Like normal
and then
TV writing. Like that's how you make tea.
I mean, I hope we don't have that cycle all the time, but I understand that it might happen. But again, coming back to the Brotherhood, I was like, I kind of like that storyline because it's maybe, again, somewhat in the sense of like, this is, you're supposed to root for Maxmus, Dane is his friend, and everyone else is a piece of crap. That's pretty much the depiction of it. It's just how can he remove himself from this? But first of all, he needs to realize that he doesn't belong with them and stuff like that. And it's kind of like we've seen that journey a little bit. So this episode obviously has the ridiculous plan we laughed about with bringing Thaddeus back, and who could have caught that? But yeah. But I guess, like Pete said, where he is now, in terms of leaving, it's going to be interesting. Like when you mentioned NCR, I was like, okay, that's interesting. Because now it's like, do we think Maxmus is leaving to find something else that matches his cause? Like, is he going to join an NCR or something? Or is he like, I need to forge my own kind of path kind of thing?
Well,
the only reason that came to my head now.
The only reason I think about that NCR is because that's where he came from. You know, he came from Shady Sands. So if we know that the actual NCR has been scattered to the winds, like he's not necessarily joining the NCR, but maybe creating something new that, you know, in that mold or something along those lines.
Yeah, right, that would make sense.
I would hope he doesn't swap one set of matching jackets.
Yeah, that would be that sounds terrible to me. Like, that's why I didn't mean to interrupt, but I wanted to just clarify that I thought maybe he'll start something in that spirit, because we keep hearing people say that. They said that in this episode again. That's what the NCR was all about. They're talking about it in past tense, but that's sort of, you know, that was sort of, you know, like she said it to the Ghoul in the episode before. She said, you know, we used to, you know, fight for your, you know, for the Ghoul's rights or whatever, you know what I mean? So it was.
Obviously we haven't, or at least, I don't know, I think Pete, obviously you have, because you did episodes on it. But I haven't watched the trailers for this season intentionally. I really do hope like we get an extended period of time with like Lucy and Maxmus together, because I'm not gonna lie, at this moment it doesn't really seem likely. It doesn't really seem like
this seems like Hank might have put a stop to that.
Yeah, like it, because they're not. I can't remember. I mean, think about Game of Thrones, right? There are periods where like characters would just kind of like go on different paths and just never see each other again for like 2 seasons. So it's just like,
yeah, but like, I think in Game of Thrones it was different though. I thought if this show keeps doing that, I don't know if it'll be like for the best in terms of like the service of the characters, because like, you know, we're here now, we're picking the different storylines and stuff like that. I think this show, like in season 1, I think the best parts was when everything kind of connected together, and then you know, we kind of started, I think, everything connecting together has always been the best part of present day. The flashbacks are probably the most compelling thing throughout, like, you know, the most consistent. But in terms of present day, I feel like we need the characters together and like something sort of unifying to kind of get the best kind of what's it called, best return kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say but it's just so hard to think of how that will happen. Because like Pete was saying, there was a part of me that thought, okay, on the way back, maybe Thaddeus and Maximus will run into Lucy and the Ghoul or something like that. But then they've gone straight back.
Now, unless they
And
go
it's like-
find this secret underground vault, it seems
Yeah.
less likely.
Where is Area 51 meant to be? New Mexico? Roswell?
Area 51's in Vegas or in Nevada also, I think.
Oh, is it Nevada also? Yeah,
I think so.
okay. Yeah, so not too
Yeah,
far
like
from Vegas.
the only random kind of theory I can think of is like, I don't know, something happens, the Ghoul feels bad and he goes to get Maximus to help out.
What I would say is like, obviously, like we're like, I want Lucy and Maximus together. Like we all think that like those are kind of like the high points of season 1 and everything, and I agree with that. But what I would say again, just giving credit to TV writers, because it's better to give them credit before and then they waste it than just to write them out from the start. Is that like sometimes you think you want something and then if they're good enough, they can prove that actually this is a better way to tell the story. I don't know,
that's fair.
that's like we're like, oh, don't separate the Starks. The Starks should always be together, and then you spend 7 seasons and just like doing their own thing, right? So I'm like, actually, no, I do enjoy this. So like, we'll see. I mean, I think we all agree that I want Lucy and Maximus together, but like, it's like if that's not the story they want to tell, then we'll see what they have in store.
Yeah, I would say going into this episode or going into this season, I thought for sure that's what we would be seeing. Where we're at right now, I'm not 100% sure. Now, that doesn't mean that Maximus won't hook up with the Ghoul and they won't be trying to
save Lucy,
free Lucy or whatever. But
yeah, that's why I think
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure that I'm thinking that there's going to be a lot of episodes of them all.
Yeah,
I feel like the showdown in this season is going to be Hank, right?
Yeah.
What do you make of Maximus not killing Quintus?
He couldn't, because he's hopefully at his core still a good person. You don't agree with that, Emmanuel?
I mean, he's killed people for less, no?
Has he?
Then he killed that big guy.
Well, that was
like
a live or die.
Sanctioned. Yeah, that's a sanctioned fight, though.
Fair.
That's
Fair
not
enough,
murder.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was more about the fact that he, like, I think you're right. I think that it would have played okay if he would have killed him, because especially the way that he used the my son. And
I felt like it was too on the nose, right?
So weaponized.
Yeah, like it was pretty abusive in every way that you could think about it. But at the same time, I think it's sort of one of those situations like we were watching them, the Brotherhood of Steel sort of implode, those chapters implode and take each other out. So it's not like, it's sort of like they'll have Quintus in the background if they ever need to pull him out, but like there's no reason to believe that he'll be hot on Maximus's heels and like stalking him for the rest of the series. It would make sense if we never saw him again, even though that's probably not what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, he has the cold fusion, Maximus. So.
Oh yeah, that's true. They're going to be coming looking for that.
It's going to come after him, right?
Yeah. But I mean, Dane says that thing of like, don't apologize for not killing someone. Someone else said that in a different episode. I forgot. I was going to write it down.
Lucy said it earlier. She said, "I'm not gonna," because she was shooting the cons in the legs and then the butts or whatever. So
I'm not going to apologize for not killing someone. And it's like it's a lot, right? It's like I understand, like it would have played well, like you guys said. I agree with that, and I understand Emmanuel that you think it can just do. Wait, actually, no, Emmanuel, because like this stance you're taking
Quintus
is very.
pulls a gun at him, right?
And then he was shooting back at that point. But I'm just saying, this stance you're taking is very similar to my Coop just kill Mr. House stance. Like, you've killed people before. You literally said he's killed people for less.
It's very different. Yeah, he's killed people for less. But like, Coop's one is like, it wasn't. He didn't even really know who Mr. House was. It's just that he's the one behind this particular thing.
Yeah.
There's no scheme with if Maximus was trying to kill Quintus there. Like,
But,
if anything, that's
yeah.
his own.
I mean, he killed Xander just a little while ago. So, like, I guess as far as like how we saw the character, like, we wouldn't be like he's a cold-blooded murderer if he killed Quintus. Like, we would have been like, fair enough.
But that would have, for him, that would have been, because like you said, he doesn't plan.
But he would carry it. He would carry that.
It just happened.
Yeah, he would carry that with him.
Yeah, because like Xander was like, he had to do that to save the kids, although everybody else might seem to disagree. The Knight Titus was like, he really just kind of let him die. He didn't kill him. This would be the one that he'll be actively like killing his dad. It's patricide. Like, it's like, he's like, so I think I can see, and I really do think the performance in that scene was very, I can't think of another word but real. Like, it was a very naturalistic performance from Aaron Moten, where he was just like it didn't seem like acting. I don't know. This sounds like glazing, but I don't know how to put it. But it's just like you could see that this was like something that was really kind of like,
yeah, the conflict was he sold the conflict and stuff really
very
well.
Yeah,
I think I'm just talking from a writing perspective. Would I even say a writing perspective? Just more from the character's perspective of like.
I'm just saying you're going very close to my Coop and Mr. House stance, because it's like from a character's
you're just trying to drag me down with you.
I mean, I guess it's there's no real clear. You could take either side, and I guess that's good, right?
Yeah. Okay, should we do Norm quickly and then we can wrap up?
I think we should, because I think Norm is worth it.
Yeah. So they get the woman in this scene, her name is Steph, right?
Steph, are you talking about Inside 33?
Yeah. No. Steph is
the one with
someone else.
The eye patch.
Oh yeah.
You're talking about his new girlfriend?
His new girlfriend.
I mean, Claudia.
Okay, Claudia. I'll do Steph very quickly because there's nothing to say there. But like in the do not reveal notes they gave us from Prime Video for episode 4, they said don't reveal that Steph is Canadian. And I was just like, I was like,
because of the passport, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, okay, like that doesn't seem like a big enough spoiler. Like I was just like, I don't really
understand. I don't really understand the fact that she is Canadian. Like, I understand why for Chet that's a big problem, because he realizes she wasn't born in the vault. Like, that's a huge
exactly. I think that's why they think.
But like for us, like, why is that a spoiler we can't reveal? I was just like, okay, I mean,
I guess it means like the plot point, right? Like, if you're discussing her being Canadian, means like Chet now knows she's not from the vault, kind of thing.
If we're not short on time, can we talk about that a bit? Because one, Zach Cherry, great to finally see him show up in an episode, and 2, did you guys understand? Like, we're not supposed to understand what's going on, like what the history between Betty and Steph is, right? Like they talk about like we should know, but we don't know, right?
So my assumption is that they were probably kind of on similar paths in the real world. In the flashback.
So there was just normal outside stuff before they got into it.
And then Betty was obviously woken up well before Steph, so she's kind of older now. And I think this is Steph's first chance at management. Like, Betty has obviously been overseer before, and now she's overseer again. So I think Steph is just trying to maintain her corners, and she's like, every vault for itself. She's trying to like own, like, so I think it's a pissing contest. That's the best way to put it. Like,
I think Steph's a bit power.
One detail I want
in general.
One detail I want to point out, and I want us to think about later down the road, is that she wants something of Hank's. She asked for that keepsake box that Hank has. So that to me, that indicates that there's something else going on with Steph that we're gonna like that, because otherwise, like, why would she know anything about what Hank brought into the vault with him?
Yeah. You think they had a
because Hank came in with his wife, you know what I mean? Like, or no, he married a woman
beforehand.
He married a woman inside. Lucy's mom was born in the vault.
31. Yeah, from 31.
I love how you just jump straight to relationship.
Well, no, not necessarily like romantic, but like were they more than just co-workers? Were they like close friends? Were they confidants like pre-bomb?
Oh yeah. I
Like,
was sorry if that was unclear. Like I was thinking that she has something to do with whatever he's got going on.
Oh,
so she has a
right.
bigger,
Okay.
so she has a bigger role in the flashbacks. You think?
Yeah, because she. I mean,
she hasn't shown up in the flashbacks yet, has she?
No, not at
Because
all.
we've seen Betty in season 1.
Yes, and
like
Hank,
a DH
but
Betty,
we
yeah.
haven't seen her. And like I said, it just
Did we
seems
see Betty in
odd to
season
me
1?
that
I think so. Yeah.
yeah, she's in
DH'd.
his office whenever she's the one who says that she's going to get Hank, who's a big fan.
Yeah,
She's
the
like
front
his
actress?
receptionist or something. No, it's her.
Yeah,
but,
she's
like, they
much
did the
younger.
DHing.
She's 30
Oh.
years younger. But they say the
Okay.
name, so you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that shows that there's something weird going, because I was trying to figure out what Stephanie's deal is. Like she's like hyper, and she's like hyper focused on something, and then it, like Betty tells her point blank here, she says like Vault-Tec's Bud's plan doesn't exist, and she's still motivated. Like that doesn't change anything for her. So I'm just wondering what's going on with her.
I feel like that storyline, like all the stuff going on in the vaults, the support group, I just feel like there's a big episode for that coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like we've just been getting very little tidbits. I feel like there's going to be an episode where like most of it is going to be just that stuff.
Which is kind of crazy because we have only 3 episodes left. But because I have to my notes that they kind of need to like make the storyline stuff work. Because like they're asking a lot from us to care about votes 31, 32, and 33. I think I'm
like
invested
3 minutes
in
an episode.
Yeah, I'm invested in the norm stuff. Definitely. And I think just Zach Cherry's presence helps me like stay engaged with the 32 stuff.
Yeah.
But it is feeling like it's like, okay, guys, this is the weakest storyline. We kind of need to like pump it up ASAP for us to kind of be on, so that I'm not kind of saying, oh, can I get back to Coop, or can I get back to the Ghoul and Lucy, or to Maxmus? It's like, show me why we should care about these storylines. The Zach Cherry one was kind of funny because I kept on just thinking, what would Dylan G do? Is this what Dylan G would do? Because they're kind of similar positions, but like they are reacting very differently in the situation.
Yeah, he's certainly playing this a different way.
Yeah, this is not what Dylan G would do.
But yeah, I didn't mean to totally disrail the Norm Gang thing. Claudia, she seems, that's also kind of suspicious, right? She's only been at Vault-Tec for a week, and now she's in the cryo
she got
chambers.
Frozen, right? Yeah.
Well, I mean, we kind of discussed this though. Like, my theory was that there were some interns that have been there for like a couple of weeks. So obviously, it seems like some of them would be there much longer. Like, Bud's assistants obviously been there a while. But maybe she's not the only one that was there just a week. Like, maybe they did like a big hiring splurge on interns and like froze like the best candidates.
I was liking the back and forth. I was liking the pre-war person, with the vault dweller who has never experienced anything. I thought that was pretty fun. And then of course it was just just a way for Robbie to like, Robbie is not cool, huh? Not a guy you're rooting for so far.
I also wonder if it's like talking about the levels of indoctrination. Like Ronnie,
I think it's Ronnie, right?
Yeah. Robbie has been there for so long, so and he's Bud's main guy, so he's really indoctrinated into the cult of Vault-Tec. But like, she's been there a week, so she's really kind of not
Sorry, I was just gonna say, do you really believe he's Bud's main guy? He kind of stinks of what we used to think of Hank. Of like a guy who thinks he's more than what he is.
I think he's overblowing his importance for sure, 100%. But I do think he was like,
because he said he took the lunch orders. I was like, that's not what a right-hand man does.
So he's definitely not the right-hand man, but like, he's the guy who definitely knows the most just because of his proximity to Bud.
Proximity,
in terms of like taking. Yeah.
Norm was born in a vault and doesn't know anything.
And the others were probably just like, I don't know, I mean, it seems that they went to Vegas. At least
Yeah, you
I
saw a
can't remember their
couple of
names.
them at the airport,
Yeah.
right?
Norm got found out really quick. Like, it didn't even last.
I mean, I'm surprised it lasted that
like,
long. Like, it's like, this man has never seen the sky. How much acting can you do? I was like,
So where does it? So where do you think this is going then? Now that he's been choked to almost
I
death
actually have
by
no idea.
a wire.
I have no idea because when it first started,
I think Claudia saves him, right? I think that's what I expect to happen.
But then to what end? Because when this plotline first started, I thought maybe he can mobilize them against, like, it doesn't even work because, like, I guess I didn't expect that they were all indoctrinated so far into the idea of, like,
I don't think all of them will be. I think there might be a split.
maybe not, but it seems like most are. So yeah, maybe to be again a level of indoctrination, like the newer ones will be like, what? But it's kind of, I didn't expect that they were all like they'll be so horny for Reclamation Day. I guess I thought like they would be I just didn't expect all of that. So
Do you think they're just going to exile Norm, or are they going to keep him around, or what do you think?
Like,
I think they're going to keep him around because he clearly
as a whipping boy, like someone
don't.
they can just beat up and
maybe or maybe to kind of find out information because they don't really know what's like. Yeah, but also I mean Norm, what does he find out? ESV,
FEB,
yeah, a virus though, like an evolutionary virus. So I don't know what's the plan, to kill everybody in the vaults? I mean, is this something from the game, Pete? Do you know what this is?
Yeah, FEB is a big part of the lore.
Okay, so I guess we'll find out in coming weeks.
That was another one of those things where he's looking up what Ronnie said, but he found something else because it has the same acronym.
What survives 200 years? We think about it, like even The Last of Us, I remember that was like 20 years and I was like, what survives 20 years? Now it's 200 years and like that computer is still working. She's going to go find a drink. Like, I'm just like, what actually survives 200 years? Also, I want you guys to think on that, but also I remember this because I made a note of it. How callous all these interns were about like the landscape, the wasteland. Like they were like, oh, it's dirty, or like, oh, this woman was still at her desk. Like it felt very, I don't know what the word is, very
Childish.
icky. How callous the were. I was like, I think it was really painting them as bad people. Let me put it that way. Because the only person that we see have an emotional reaction is her. I can't remember her name again.
Claudia.
So, and it's like the others were just like, it's dirty, it's dusty.
We basically see her through the lens that Norm sees her. Like she's like a bright shining spot out of a bunch of other people that are basically interchangeable as just annoying
bad votes, junior vote people. Okay, yeah. So, but yeah, anything else you guys want to touch on that we haven't touched on? I'm trying to think.
No, yeah, like that last storyline we just talked about, I think is just the one that's like most wide open for me. Like I don't know where that is gonna go. There's a part of me that's like Hank, Lucy, and Norm are in the wasteland. I feel like that's something where like in the finale you get 3 of them together again, kind of thing. Like,
but Norm is in California.
Yep.
So that's like that journey took Lucy 1.5 seasons to make.
Fair.
So unless they want to go to Game of Thrones season 7, travel logic.
So funny, man. This is actually funny because I was talking to someone the other day. They were watching Game of Thrones and they're like, "Oh, this is thing," and we literally got into the conversation about traveling. And I was like, yeah, you don't realize it, but like by the time you get to season 7, like people are going halfway through Westeros in half an episode.
Yeah. So I mean, look, I mean, I don't know. What kind of show is this? That's the question to ask. Like, is it a show that will is it a show that will reward us by reuniting the McLeans again, or is it a show that just like these guys are just going to go on their individual journeys and maybe we see them in season 3 or season 4? Like I don't actually know what kind of show it is.
Yeah, we don't really know because I feel like the first season was more about setting the table. It didn't really that it felt to me that felt like an introduction to the world. So it wasn't like setting the pace of like this is what you can expect from this show from now on.
Yeah.
So, like that's what we're learning now, and I mean we're a decent way into the season, but I think it's still up for. I'm not sure, you know what I mean? Like I think it's still up for
so many characters
debate.
in the show.
Yeah,
so
like
many characters.
And I think that's really what the one thing that I would say about this is what I liked the best about it was because I was having a little bit of whiplash jumping around between the different storylines and kind of having to skip episodes on certain storylines. Like, I mean, of course you can do that. Like lots of TV shows do that. But I thought that like, it just sort of was it felt a little all over the place in the first few episodes. And this is where you started to see the things start to feel like it's okay. Now I know why they did what they did. And it's not like I didn't trust them. It was just that I was just waiting till they got to this point. And now it feels like it's really coming together in a satisfying way.
I think these are hands down the best 2 episodes of the season so far, definitely. Emmanuel, any final words? Do you want to again reassure the audience that you're not watching ahead?
I wish I had the time to watch ahead, you know. Like I spent my last few days of holiday binge watching Pluribus, so I didn't have the chance to even watch this
I wonder
until
what the
very
experience
late.
of binge watching Pluribus is as opposed to one a week.
I mean, I binge watch in a different way. Like I don't just go episode.
You don't do 8 episodes in one day. Yeah. I can't even
like
do that.
I do one episode, I digest it, watch a couple of YouTube videos, podcasts or whatever, then the second one. That's what I do. It's just that
really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So I follow around the discussion kind of thing. Like
but that's risky for spoilers though.
No, I'm not watching like episodes ahead. Like it's stuff like
a thumbnail, a Google search could just be like, and Carol died in episode 5. Like she's like,
I mean, I know where I'm going to, right? Like I'll listen to like the Popcorn for Dinner episode, watch Pete's video, that kind of thing. Like I'm searching for it exactly. Fair. I'm not just going to just whatever, the Wild West or whatever of the internet and seeing everything.
Wasteland. Yeah. I won't ask you what you thought about Pluribus live on the podcast just in case Pete decides he hates you. Because of your answer.
But yeah.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I forgot to ask. Yeah, final thoughts on the episodes.
Yeah, I was gonna say like beforehand. You were saying something about trailers. I actually saw. I was scrolling and I saw like a thing. All of those scenes that we haven't seen yet from the trailers, and I just kind of instinctively clicked on it. And it sort of gave away a few of the things that happened in 4 and 5. And so I was like, oh man, now it feels good again because I'm kind of back in the situation where I'm not really sure what's going to happen. Like the main thing I got spoiled on was that Hank was definitely going to get a hold of Lucy. And I figured that was going to happen sooner rather than later. I'm curious to see, like I said, all the stuff that's going on in the flashbacks, and I was, you know, I'm also wondering why they decided to impale the Ghoul at the end of, like having her use that power fist to impale him on that flagpole or signpost or whatever it was at the end of episode 5.
Do you mean thematically or like just from the writing point of view?
Just
like physically.
Well, I think thematically maybe it's like her standing up for herself and like not just lying down and taking the betrayal.
Yeah, so I guess I'm thinking more of like writing wise, like why
writing wise for like 5 seconds I was like, for like half a second I was like, oh, he's dead, and then I was like, oh, actually no, he can't die.
Well, yeah, he doesn't die. He just suffers very, very greatly.
Like it genuinely hit me, like I was like, oh wow, he's dead, and I was like, actually no, he doesn't die. So let's go on this. Yeah,
he can't get out of that on his own, right?
No, you wouldn't think so.
Yeah, so maybe that's, I don't know, maybe that's kind of the thing. Maybe that's just the plot thing of how someone else gets into the story or something. Like someone helps him or
Oh
something.
my god, that's a crazy way to just be existed. Not a good day to be someone that people famously hate. Like it's like everyone's just gonna keep on walking by and it's like, hi, how you doing up there? Just like Emmanuel, any final thoughts?
No, I'm just excited to see what happens. Yeah, I want to really see what's happening with Robert House. Like,
Yeah.
and again, there's a part of me that's like, how, again, we don't know what kind of show this is, right? There's certain shows where like you see a lot of flashbacks and stuff, and it's because there's something coming that's going to connect it to present day, like directly or something. So I'm thinking like, is there somebody we see in a flashback that's going to show up? Like, is Robert House going to show up in present day or something? I doubt it though. But
he wanted to live forever.
He did float out the
like,
idea of, that's another thing I guess I was thinking about. Like he floats out the idea of living robotically, or I forget, a roboticized version of him, non-organic form.
Non-organic, yeah.
But it was also like obviously I know what he was doing 15 years ago compared to where they're at in the modern day timeline, because it's in the game, right? So, but also, you know, that's not going to work out because Victor told the Ghoul last episode, or in episode 3, that, you know, he didn't get cold fusion. He needed cold fusion to live forever, and it didn't work out. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, but like, I mean, yeah, maybe he didn't live, but it could be anything. Like, it could be like,
but I feel like if they're talking about it, he probably did. Don't you? Don't you think that's where it's heading?
I think we will see him in like
present
quote unquote
day,
the present,
in some fashion.
Yeah, 100%. On a screen or in something, in a body.
Give him the Arnim Zola treatment.
Modoc.
Not Murdoch, Jesus.
Okay, let's wrap it up there.
Yeah, that seems like a good place.
That's Pete, do you want to say that again for your listeners? That seems a good place to wrap it up.
Catchphrase.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, our 2 favorite episodes of the season, I think the 2 best. I think we can say that. I'm excited to see the last 3 of the season, or kind of what happened. As always, we'll be back in 2 weeks' time to talk about episode 7, and then we'll probably just do 7 and 8, like, yeah, because it makes more sense. Not together. Sorry, I said again. We'll do 6 and 7, and then we'll do and then we'll do 8 as one as well. So yeah, no, we're not going to do 6, 7, and 8 as one episode. That would be a 3-hour podcast.
Yeah, that would be.
I don't have the time to edit that. Yeah, so guys, as always, if you've listened this far, please like and subscribe on YouTube. Please like on Spotify. You can comment on Spotify or YouTube. You can watch this video on Spotify. And just check out all that podcasts, Light of 7 Kingdoms, Industry, MCU 12. And yeah, thank you very much. Check out Pete's video, obviously. I'll be back next week with Oscar winner Daniel Kaluuya. Bye, guys.
Cheers.